Okay, so a lot of you have asked me about owner occupancy ratios, and in the next couple minutes here, I'm going to show you how to check that very quickly and easily online. And that's important if you are looking for growth potential and high appreciation in the particular neighborhood. If you're in a high rental neighborhood, then you may have higher yields, but you're going to have lesser quality tenants and more maintenance costs, and you won't have as much appreciation potential. So the other three reasons that it's important to know the owner occupancy ratio is number one, you take the subjectivity about how a property is rated. So if you purchase a property, a lot of times sellers will rate it an A, B, C, or D property. And in knowing the owner occupancy ratio, it completely objectifies that rating. Number two, it consolidates the research you have to do about crime rates in schools because high owner occupancy ratios where people want to buy homes and own them versus rent them automatically have low crime rates and good schools. And then the final reason, of course, is what I already mentioned, that high owner occupancy neighborhoods have just generally more appreciation potential and growth potential because people pay premiums to be in those neighborhoods. So I'm going to show you quickly how to check the owner occupancy ratio in your neighborhood without paying a membership fee to some of the sites that do this for you. All I'm going to do is go to Google and I'm going to search a particular county. I want to find the property appraiser's website. So if I type in the county, for example, Orange County, Florida property appraiser, you're going to see what pops up is Orange County property appraiser's website. Then automatically you'll see links that show you how to do a parcel search, or sometimes it'll say map search, or sometimes it'll say property search. So I'm just going to click on parcel search. And then it's simply just putting in an address. But I don't put in I'm going to leave the house number out of it. I'm just going to put in the street. Then it will kick back all the properties on that particular street. You just want to make sure that these house numbers are close to where your property is. Then all you simply have to do is click on the properties that are around you to see if the mailing address is the same as the physical property address. And in this particular case, it is not. So the physical property that's located on 8412 Lake Amherst Trail, the mail goes to this location right here in Lake Mary, Florida, which means that whoever receives the mail on that property is not living in that property and it's most likely rented out. So you can spot check these properties up and down the street around your physical property to get an idea whether or not you have an owner in the house or a potential renter. Now, to make it even easier, some property websites will have a map search. So instead of doing a record search like I just did, which some counties only offer that ability, you can do a map search. And in this case, I'm doing a map search of Orange County, Florida, which is Orlando. And what I'm going to do is zoom in. And we're going to zoom in on a neighborhood so we can see the individual parcels so that we can very quickly click on each parcel and get the information very fast. So in this particular case, because of the platform they have in Orange County, Florida, I can click on a parcel and very quickly over here see that the street address for the property is 8707 Coco Plum in this example, and the mailing address is the same. So this is an owner. Right next door, we can click on the parcel. Same thing, owner. Third one over, owner. Fourth one over, owner. And as we continue on both sides of the property, you see that the mailing address is the same as the physical address, which means that the owner lives in the house. It's not an absentee owner. And then we can go across the street and spot check these houses. And consistently we're getting this. So of the probably 8 or 9 properties we've just spot checked, we've had 100% owner occupancy ratio. So you think this is a great neighborhood to own in. I personally know this subdivision and it's one that I would personally live in. So this is definitely a high growth market area or high appreciation neighborhood, but the yields here, I can tell you just from experience, I know that you may just barely cash flow on these houses because the rents don't stay as high as those purchase prices do in owner-occupied subdivisions where you're almost 100% owner-occupied. This is where people pay a premium to live, not the best cash flow properties necessarily. So you want to find a happy medium, and I find that the happy medium is between 50 to 70% owner occupied. That's what I would label as a B property. And that's where you're going to get the highest amount of return with the least amount of risk and the highest growth potential.